People like myself, they're everywhere. You know, some of them are living with their cousins and stuff, but they're still homeless. And it is what it is. Sometimes I get a little bit emotional about it because it's real ugly. It's an ugly situation. Since 2011, I've had 15 major surgeries. And that wears and tears on you. But I'm still here. And I'm still trying to do the best I can. I was told by good sources that this was a good place for me to transition back into a normal lifestyle.
Homeless men are able to come into Joseph's Home to rest and recuperate from an acute medical issue or some kind of chronic issue that needs to be stabilized.
I was an attorney. I had done tax work, in a public accounting firm. At one time, though, I lost my job. Eventually, I knew I was going to be evicted, but there was a social worker that met me in my house, and it was always his intention of getting me to Joseph's Home because he knew the physical issues I had. I have had this brace on my lower right leg for a few years, and I have MS. I have to walk with a certain device.
As you can see, I'm not able to walk right now because I have amputation, total right foot and ankle, and I needed a new prosthesis. And Joseph Home allowed me to have a place to be stable until I can get it done, and all of my medical stuff. And along with helping me get a housing, nobody's ever told me, we won't help you with that. I don't see a lot of negativity. This place just made me feel a lot different about life, period. Because I was down. I wasn't out, but I was down.
Certainly, financially, it was very disappointing after my background and professional abilities not to be able to find a job. I wasn't probably in the best mindset when I came to Joseph's Home because of all that.
The Sisters of Charity of St. Augustine, we had committees that were very much involved in all aspects of our religious life. And one of our sisters, Sister Ruth Ann Patrick, was a social worker at St. Vincent Charity Medical Center, and she called to our attention what she saw in our emergency department, and that was frequent homeless people that came in and did not have permanent housing. We felt very strongly that we could make an impact. This started from a shared vision of our sisters called the Dream Team.
We try to provide comprehensive, integrative health care. The homeless population really cycle in and out of the ER very frequently, and they're going to multiple pharmacies. So trying to bring all that information and come up with a comprehensive care plan is critical for the success of the men. Because we're a medical respite facility, we do have staff on site 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Joseph's Home has spent a lot of time researching medical respite programming. We applied the National Healthcare for the Homeless Council's quality standards to our practices and to our workflow. And part of that best practice is engaging a medical director and a behavioral health director to oversee our program and to help increase the clinical competency of our team of staff.
When we talk about integrated health plans, what that means is we take a team approach to helping the resident become whole again. And I'll talk about what their health care plan is, what they need, what the steps are that they need to accomplish each week with the help of staff. How do we talk about getting your housing developed? Let's start there. So you have an income, so we develop the housing plan, talk about where they're going to move on to after they've healed up from Joseph's Home. Some of the in-house programming we are lucky enough to offer here at Joseph's Home. We have Cleveland State. We've partnered with them to provide music therapy. Then we also had Ursuline College come in, and they provided art therapy and wellness. So the approach that they took was kind of a journey.
Music therapy was always my favorite. I think about the mindset of when I was here my first day and all the things I'd been through. I was not ready to face whatever was going to happen next, and not knowing whether I was going to be long-term homeless or anything like that. But to me, at least, music therapy and even the art therapy and the wellness, they get your mind in a better place. You're thinking about different things.
We've had occupational therapy students from Tri-C. They came, taught some of those basic life skills. We had someone come in and teach the guys how to make soap. We had Pizza and Puppies, where an organization brought in puppies, and the guys actually got to play with and interact with puppies. So I think that was one of the highlights that they've had, is just to get to relax and eat and play and laugh.
My favorite activity in here is basically reading. It is so peaceful here. You can just read and read and read.
We service 11 men at any one given time, but we also work with our alumni. So when they're ready for discharge and they leave, I don't call them discharge clients, they're our alumni because we are a home, so they're always welcome back home. And our peer recovery supporter will also go out into the community and have scheduled visits with them. Because again, we're trying to be that ongoing support.
I like being on the board because I can contribute to some things. Some insight as to being in a homeless situation and from a homeless situation coming into Joseph Home and healing. I have a perspective, I have an idea of what these guys are going through. In some cases deeper than what I've experienced, but I have sympathy for them, compassion for them. Therefore, when I hear something from both committees, I may be able to offer some insight as to what may work compared to what they may be saying, and they listen.
They have their own space, they have their own privacy, and it really gives them that moment of dignity that they are now safe and secure in an environment where they can rest and they can recuperate.
Psychologically, that benefits them a lot because you kind of like starting to let your guard down. You learn to start to trust people again.
We can provide that support, that love, that assistance that they might not necessarily get somewhere else.
Joseph Home rebuilds the foundation. Well, you can put yourself back together here. And you're stronger when you leave here than you were when you come in.
When we talk about a success story at Joseph's Home, it might not always be one that you think of that would have a particularly happy ending, but one that sticks out to me truly is a gentleman that we helped. He had no family, no social support, and was diagnosed with cancer. And he was going through chemotherapy, and finally one day he came in and the doctor said, "We're done with chemo. There's no more we can do for you." And he told us, he said, "That's it, I'm done." We said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And he said, "I want to stay here with you guys." So he went through the entire process. We had hospice come in and we talked to him, and eventually he did pass away. But while he was here, he got that love and that support. And I think that was most impactful for me because he would not have had that otherwise. So some of our happier memories are spending time with him in his final days.
When people hear about what we do and how we impact the men, I'm often asked, what can we do to help? And I think there's three main ways that people can help support Joseph's Home. One way is through volunteering, cooking a meal and bringing it in and serving the guys food, or sitting down and playing cards with them, hosting a game night. Another way to help is through advocacy. So anytime you're with your friends, if you want to share about what Joseph's Home does, it really spreads the message and the mission of what Joseph's Home is. Our budget at Joseph's Home is generously supported by donors. The donations that come in could be clothing, which is really important because sometimes some of the men will walk into the house with nothing more than a hospital gown. Also, we'll have small household items such as dishes, wastebaskets, linens, washcloths, towels, and these are important because the men use them while they're in residence, but also when they transition into their permanent apartment, they can take those items with them. When people come into Joseph's Home to volunteer, the men see that, and I'm often asked by the men, they'll come up to me and say, "Why are they here? They don't know me." It's really a reflection of the community. People just genuinely care and want to help.
Without the support of Joseph's Home, guys like Carl, guys like Ralph, who knows where they'd be.